Welcome back, everyone. Brand new Invincible spoiler review here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnenberg. We're talking about season 3, episode 8, which is the season finale of season 3 of Invincible. So, welcome back to Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnenberg. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I do movie and TV show reviews, box office breakdown shows, out of theater reactions, movie ranking videos. So if you're new to the channel and you like any one of those things, this is the channel for you. Subscribe, ring the bell, comment down below. What are your thoughts on season 3 of Invincible? Do you like it? Is this your favorite, least favorite season? Did the finale deliver for you? Any bold predictions for season 4 of the show? I respond to all comments. Definitely please comment down below. And also, guys, please hit that thumbs up button, the like button down below. Click that, helps my videos get recommended to more people. So, as you might have known, if you've been following the channel, I've covered every single episode of this series, and this is one of my favorite shows of all time. It's definitely my favorite, probably superhero show of all time, with how much the show really does mean to me. And I will say that episode 8, for the most part, definitely delivered. This was a action-packed, emotional episode, as well as it left a lot to be open for next season. So let's get into spoiler ways into this finale episode. So this was basically just an all-action set piece between Conquest and Mark. This was hard-hitting, and probably is the most violent episode of Invincible. And that is very hard to top. They did that train sequence at the end of season 1 with Omni-Man and Mark. This season, they did it on a beach, and it was gross. I feel like a lot more people died in this episode, more than any of the other episodes, which was hard to top after last week's episodes. But so many, like, disgusting things happened in this episode. It was violent. It was intense. When Oliver got involved and Conquest starts stretching out Oliver, it was so nerve-wracking and intense. Like, I could not, because the whole time I'm thinking they're not going to kill off a kid. Now, they didn't show a kid get killed in that beach sequence. We were like, you're not going to kill Oliver. And then your doubt starts to creep in because he really starts stretching him, and you can hear breaks and bones. It was gross. But obviously, Mark gets in this whole fight with Conquest. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan, by the way, did a really good job voicing Conquest. This, and not just was obviously the voice work really good, but the animation for this episode was unbelievable as well. It probably was the best animated episode of the show thus far. And the violence, the action, this had a lot of gravitas to it. A lot of credit to Robert Kirkman and the team that makes Invincible one of the best shows of all time, in my opinion. But we have this huge fight. Eve is in the hospital. She wants to join the fight to help Mark, as she reveals to her parents that he is invincible. And we can get, he kind of, I'm not going to go step for step. We get to the big part, which is it looks like Eve is killed. And she gets punched through the face and the chest. It was gross, and I was very sad when it happened, because obviously I predicted all season that if any of the major characters would die, it would be Eve. Because I felt like things were going too good for Mark and Eve in the season, that something had to go wrong. And when Eve died, even though I kind of expected her to die, I was very sad. I was just not in a good spot. Mark having to watch because his bones, every time he got up, his bones were kind of falling apart. And then Mark starts, fighting him again, and that is where Eve goes all full Phoenix mode, like Jean Grey mode, turning into her Phoenix version that we saw in the special. And they really made sure in this season as well that it was important to watch that spin-off Invincible Adam Eve special, which I reviewed here on the channel. Great special. But if you haven't watched that, they do explain why she could turn into that. But it really does reward you for watching every single piece of content that this creative team has put out revolving around the show. So she comes back, and her and Mark, and actually helps Mark kill Invincible. Not Invincible, kill Conquest. And Mark does like these 20 headbutts to the face of Conquest to finally at least knock him out, because they didn't really make it clear that he was dead. because when later in the episode, when Cecil puts him in this 600 feet underground thing, he's like, when he wakes up, he'll tell everything. So clearly he's not dead, just knocked out from all these attacks from Mark and Eve. Um, and then they set up a lot of stuff for next season, and also before we get to next season stuff, there is the big funeral scene for Rex. And that's when Rudy changes his name from Rudy to Rex to keep his legacy continuing. And this was very emotional. Eve not being able to get through her speech. And again, she even said, he cheated on me a billion times. And I still love him to death and wish I could spend more time with him. And I thought the most emotional scene of the season came here, where, Mark's just looking at her. This is after the funeral, and they're out of the hospital. And Mark goes, she's like, why are you smiling at me? Mark goes, I thought you were gone. Thought I lost you. And now I'm just enjoying, every second I have with you. And I'm very grateful that you're here. And then she hugs him. They are an absolute amazing couple. And this is no offense to Amber. Amber was a really good girlfriend for Mark in the first two seasons, but obviously that really wasn't working out. Mark really landed on his feet with Eve. And when he woke up from the hospital and he starts crying, and she's like, "Why are you crying?" He's like, "I thought it wasn't a dream. I did lose you for a second." And Mark said, "I wouldn't be able to live on without you," and she said, "I wouldn't be able to live on with just myself as well." They are so inseparable at this point. It's very heavy, emotional. Got me kind of choked up watching it. And kind of now me talking about it has me kind of emotional. So it's a very deep romance that I really enjoy. I could not handle the show without Eve, so I'm happy Eve is still here. We got a lot of stuff for season 2. Those alien creatures from last season, they're back. They're getting more people. Those aliens put together Angsham's arm again, and Angsham says, "I'll give you a new home." And he says, and the creatures, the three, things that put Angstrom back together, say we gotta. It's more than just worlds, and you're doing this for us because they're working for Angstrom. We have also D.A. Sinclair put all those robots together. He's now putting, instead of just regular bodies in those outfits, he's putting all the marks, all the other Invincibles. Cecil went off the rails in this episode, trying to put all the different Invincibles now in his control, not burning the body of Conquest. Cecil made a kind of a lot of stupid decisions, but ones that also make sense in this reality in the season. He'll probably bite Cecil in the ass next season. And then that then leads us to our final post-credit scene, which is the return of Clancy Brown as Damien Darkblood from season 1. Remember, he was put to hell because, again, he's the one who figured out that Omni-Man did kill all of the Guardians of the Globe in season 1. He was kind of the investigator. And when Cecil realized this, he couldn't have Damien, Darkblood do that. So he sentenced him to hell. So we've not seen him since basically midway through season 1 of the show. One of my favorite characters, one of the coolest character names in the show. And clearly he's trying to, and it looks like hell will be a major aspect of next season. Now, I will say I am disappointed that basically after the big prison breakout scene for Alan and Nolan halfway through season 3, that we never saw them again the rest of the season. A bit of a disappointment. I felt like the last 2 episodes, I was kind of baiting myself into thinking they were going to come for the save at some point. They never did. So I will say this. I do think moving forward for the show, it's best if they have at least Omni-Man as a major focus. Since season 1, he's been very much a side character. He was barely in the first, he wasn't in the first half of season 2. Then he was basically the co-lead again of the final half of season 2. And then this one, he's very much supporting character, really only showing up in post-credit scenes of this season. So I will say I want to see more Alan and Omni-Man in season 4. But the good news is, Barbara Kirkman was very disappointed with the layout and the time it took to get season 2 out. Because again, season 2, after season 1 released in March and April of 2021, it took 2 years to get to season 2, which was November of 2023 and November of 2023 was the first half of the second season, and then the second half of the season was March through April of 2024. Then this season came out, all of it in 2025. So Kirkman has been very diligent that he wants each season to take a year in between. So there's not that long layoff. A lot of fans were disappointed in the way the show came out in season two with its release schedule and the distance between season two. There's been speculation that they've already done at least halfway done the voice work already for season two. So it looks like next year should be a good release date for season four. I love Invincible season three. Again, Invincible season one is a near masterpiece. I do think this was a better season than season two, but I am absolutely loving this show. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I've adored covering it since it's released nearly 4 years ago, which is crazy to think about. So that's my thoughts on this finale of Invincible. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, like the video, and I'll see you guys soon.